What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine. We've got a whole bunch of SanDisk storage here. We're going to be talking about a few products. Our friends over at SanDisk next over at Tech Talk Live. What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine, Think Magazine. Put in a geek, you got me, and we are here on the live channels and the socials. There's the socials right there, talking about SanDisk. We have got a whole host of SanDisk items, and we're going to be talking about it. I first got approached by them to talk about the iOS dual drive that they have here, which we will talk about. And of course, I was at the at CES. We learned a lot about SanDisk and Western Digital and all the other companies that that are part of the same company there. And so we talked about it. So, hey, let's talk about storage. So I have talked about the IVY before. Did a video on that. I think it was last year when it came out. And we'll talk about it again as we go. But first of all, I want to let you know, yes, some of this product I did get for review. And I did get this in free of charge, but they have absolutely no say in my what I have to say here. And of course, all opinions are of Geekazine. You can see my review policy right there. With that said, let's get into this whole thing. First of all, let's talk about a little bit about SanDisk. It's SanDisk. I've had SanDisk products for many years. From SD cards to micro SD cards. I have them in some of my cameras here, the security cameras here. I have them in some of the Raspberry Pis that I have on my desk and over there. I have them, I have them in my cameras. In fact, I'm recording this on a SanDisk 512 gigabyte. I think that the SD card, standard SD card, it is about a 95 megabit transfer rate. And so I have a bunch of SanDisk here. Of course, I have some SanDisk SSD drives. I think one of them is in this computer and one of them is in the main studio computer, the streaming computer that goes out to the YouTubes, to the mixers, to the Twitches, to the Facebooks, and to the Periscopes or Twitters. They got a lot of very versatile stuff, very trustworthy drives when it comes to flash storage and SSD storage. But SanDisk does a lot of flash memory. So if you get some flash memory, whether it be a SSD or a micro SD card or an SD card or even a portable drive, it will most likely be a SanDisk, one of the many companies out there that are making these products as well. So what we have here, let's flip over to this camera and we'll flip this over. We got a few products here that I'm going to show you, and we're going to start, of course, with the product that I was asked to first review, and that was this one right here. This is the iOS transfer device, and we will be setting it up on my iPhone 7, where we will be transferring information over. So, and then we're also going to look at the Extreme Pro portable SSD drive. That's this right here, USB-C enabled drive. We got the IVY for your photos and your video collection. It's your little personal cloud basically for your videos and for your photos and things like that. And then of course this one right here, the dual drive, which looks a lot like that iOS drive and technically is, but it is this one's a terabyte drive that fits in my pocket. In fact, before everything happened, I had this in and did a couple shows before everything got locked down. And I had this in my gear because it was a great way to transfer files from one computer to the other. Because, I do have to say, I have some cloud transfer programs. Dropbox is one of them. And it's great, but the problem with that is it only transfers fractional. So if you have like a 10 gigabit upload on your internet, it's only going to upload like 1 megabit or something like that. And I needed to kind of just open it up and just do the majority of the bandwidth. But when I have something like this, I can transfer it from one to the other just by putting it on here, unplugging it, moving it over to the other computer and placing it there. It makes life a lot easier sometimes to have a drive like that, especially if you're working in multiple areas. And with this, This is actually going to save me if I ever use my phone to do things like B-roll, because I do that all the time. I'll take the phone, and instead of pulling out a camera and doing all that, I'll just do a quick swipe, and then I'll do simple stuff. We'll back it up a little bit to you so it doesn't get the shadows of the camera. So we'll hit that, and we'll just do some basic turns. So now I have some B-roll, and that's perfect because that's where I'm going to use this to bring that back. With all that said, let's get started on all of this, and we're going to start once again with this drive. But first of all, there is the main page from SanDisk over on Amazon. You can check that out. This is where you can find everything, and you can find everything straight from the SanDisk providers. Yeah, those are MP3 players. Who would have thunk they have MP3 players? That's crazy. All right, let's like I said, let's get this started. So we're going over, where are we going? We're going over here to this one right here. Let's take a look at this. This is the SanDisk 256 gigabyte iXpand flash drive Go for iPhone and iPad. And of course, that is iPhone and iPad that uses a lightning cable. If you have the USB iPad, of course, you'll use something like the dual drive instead. So you do have options to transfer your files. And this will transfer files. And once again, this is a beautiful thing for me simply because of the fact I shoot video from that phone. And to have that phone transfer from one device to another. If I have my MacBook there, yeah, I can use AirDrop to do it, and it's still going to take a while depending on what's connected out there. If you have bad Wi-Fi connections and you have other people with their connections sitting around, that's a lot of talk passing through. And even though it's a direct connection from your phone to your computer, it can still be slowed down by everybody else talking. This becomes kind of like the landline of transferring files. And I know that's probably a little bit too much, but you get the idea. I can transfer this over to my computer without a problem. Plus, I do a lot of my stuff at home base here on a PC, not a Mac. So I can get some files to do that same type of transfer, but those programs are not as reliable as we'd like them to be sometimes. So it's nice to have something like this, super small, super easy. I have these on my desktop all the time, and I'm always using them to transfer files when I don't have my network. And we're going to start over here. So basically, I have my iPhone 7 here. Let's see if I need to. Okay, I don't need to. And I took some video, as you saw. So in order to use this, all we have to do is go and download the app iXpand Drive by SanDisk. It's pretty easy. You'll see it on the Apple Store. And of course, this is Apple, this is iOS, because Android does not make a lightning cable device. And in some of those cases, you might use that USB-C instead of using the lightning adapter. So, but basically, when you plug it in, you plug it right into the bottom of your phone like that, and it comes up and it says, "Hey, the iXpand drive would like to communicate with your SanDisk iXpand flash drive." And say, "Okay, yeah, let's do that." That'll bring it up. Now, this is the first time I just downloaded this app, so it's coming up with a whole bunch of help tips and stuff like that. It did ask, I did plug this in before. It did ask me, do I want to pair? Do I want them to allow to see my pictures, my videos? And then I had to accept the agreement form on that. So, but basically, when I have it plugged in, it's there. And this is what was this? I think this is 256 gigabytes. They have a few different flavors on it. This is the 128 gigabyte model here. So, which is perfect because I'm just going to be transferring over stuff. So, all right. So what we have here is we have the main interface, and here it just has a whole bunch of stuff here. It's telling me my available storage. So it basically says that I have 105 gigabytes free on the iPhone, and of course this is not my main iPhone, so that makes sense. And then 128 gigabytes of free on the iXpand stuff. I think I only have a couple files on here. When you get this, you will have some sample music, some sample photos, and some sample videos on there. I have since taken those off. So, and then I took one photo. That's basically one of my Geek Tech Talk cover photos, and put it over here, and to see how fast it would transfer. And that did really well on there. It's asking to use Bluetooth to cast media. This will allow you, if you want to send it to a smart TV or anything like that, you can do that. So that's an added bonus there. But you can definitely take this, and you have different options. You can send this to AirDrop or anything like that. You can throw it in the trash, of course. You can lock it. So if you set up the security, and I'm not going to set up the security because I'm afraid that it'll probably be for this phone only. And of course, I want to transfer between phones. But I can take this, and now I can bring this up, and I can go, all right, let's copy this to the folder, and we could copy it to different folders on the SanDisk. Oops. Let's see. We can create new folders to copy it to. Well, I want to save to files. There we go. I think that just saved to my camera. You can save it to Dropbox and the shared album. So let's see if it's there. It's a little bit different. So hit the save to files, and then you can say on your iCloud drive or on my iPhone. And let's see, we can do it on the iXpand drive, the GarageBand for iOS, iMovie, or Double Take. All right, so these are all the options that you have if you need to transfer the file, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring some of the files over from the camera. So let's go over here, and we're going to say copy files. Maybe I don't have the permissions set up yet. So hit backup and restore. Let's check this out first. And we can back up and restore our photo library. And we can choose automatic backup. We can back up our social media. That's our Facebook, Instagram, and Google Photos, and probably other social medias, depending on what apps you have on your phone, your contacts and your calendar. So we have all that. So let's just copy files, copy photos from iPhone. There we are. Now this is the video that I took, and I want to copy that to the iXpand drive, and I'll put that into the video, and then I'll say copy here. It's asking to send notifications. I say no on that. It just copied one file. Do you want me to delete it from your phone to save the 12.7 megabytes of space? And yeah, we're going to say delete it, but you can say you don't need to delete it. Allow iXpand drive to delete this video. Yes. And there we have that there. Maybe now we've got that transfer, that ability to look at it now. So now we can look at the video. And there's the video that I just created. We'll turn down the volume because it's not about the volume. So as you can see, that video is coming from the iXpand device right there. So now if I go like this, we can say save video. And I'm wondering if that just saved it to the photo roll. Let me just double check. Yep, there it is right there, saved right there. So I needed to set up some permissions to make that happen. So now it's on my phone, and now it's on my iXpand drive. I can take it off my phone. I can take it off my iXpand drive. Depends on where I want to go with this. So I think now with the photos, I should be able to do the same thing. So we'll go to photos, and then I'll go like that and up and oops. And save to file. No, it still says save to files. We can move folders. We can save to files. Excuse me. And we can save it on the iPhone through Double Take. Well, that's an app. All these are apps: GarageBand, iMovie, or iXpand Drive. So I'm not sure. I think that might be actually on the iXpand Drive here. And the way to find out is simply unplug it. And now the iXpand drive is empty. Well, it's not seeing this, that's for sure. And then, of course, it says plug in your iXpand drive. So let's see if it's here now. I'm not seeing it here, so I'll have to find out how I can bring that back into the phone here. So we'll plug this back in. And then we'll allow the iXpand device to connect. There it is. It's connected. Your last backup was on never. I like that. That's pretty cool. So let's see if there's any questions. If anybody has any questions here, we'll just flip through. Oh, E. Furman says, hello, introduction. I am from Indonesia. How you doing? E. Furman. Furman, I think that's how you pronounce it. So welcome to the show. Appreciate you coming and saying hi. So, all right. So that's basically it. So now we can take this file. We can take this off here, and I can bring this over to my computer. Let's go to the screen. So what we have is the iXpand drive, the music, the photos, the videos right there. So as you can see, we have all of those. If we double click on photos, we have the image that of my Adobe Creative Cloud Day Tuesdays. And they have this right here, which is the video for the IBI. That's pretty cool. Now, like I said, that could take a while for me to actually transfer it over to from the phone to another device. So to be able to do that instantaneous is really nice. So I'm really happy for that. The Lightning connector, of course, is whatever the speed for Lightning connector would be, which I believe is about a 2.0 speed for data transfer. However, the USB-A is a USB-A 3.0 plug, so that'll go at 3.0 speeds. And any iPhone with a Lightning port or iPad with a Lightning port will be able to connect up to that. And you can't plug both of them at the same time. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. Trust me, that's not a good idea. Now, if you don't have an iOS device and need to do USB-C to USB-A, that is where this next product comes in. SanDisk 256 gigabyte Ultra Dual Drive USB Type-C. This is larger. This is actually 1 terabyte that I got at CES. And what this drive is exactly the same as with the iPhone version here. So here it is right here. As you can see, it flips up fairly easy. You have this side goes to USB-C. You have this side that goes to USB-A. And it is a 3.0 device. So this is not Thunderbolt. So I think USB-C standards are 10 gigabits per second, but don't hold me to that number. And then of course USB 3.0, which is that's pretty fast speed there. So basically, I would plug this into. I don't have a USB-C computer here close by, but I'd plug it into my USB-C computer, and then I could transfer files. This is perfect because I do have. Actually, I have this one over here. It keeps wanting to turn itself on, so saying use me, use me. So here we are. This is my tablet. I use this for presentations. So now I can plug it into the USB-C port, and it should recognize it as a regular USB-C drive. It's saying dual drive. There it is. What would you like to do? Well, I'm going to continue without scanning. Windows does that every now and then. So in this case, I've actually I've used this on a few things, so I have some files on here. But when you get this drive, you will actually get a couple files on here, which I will show you with this one right here, because I have not done anything with that drive just yet. So here for this computer, I could, and maybe this computer cannot be connected up to any network or internet because it's doing something very specific. If that's a good example being POS system. And if you're running in a shop where a point of sale system, POS system, you have to do an update or anything like that. You either have to hook up to that network, or you can put in a thumb drive like this and get stuff done, and then unplug it when you're done and move on from there. Maybe a firmware update or a hardware update or something like that. And as an IT guy, that's what I would do that all the time. Is I'd have a lot of stuff on flash drives when flash drives became available to use, and I would have them ready to just plug into computers and do their updates. So you can use it in that aspect. You can back up files and of course transfer as well. So as you can see, it works really well. We'll just unplug it and it'll disappear. Now we'll flip the plug. Let's flip the plug and we'll plug this into the USB-A plug on this computer. And it says dual drive found. And we didn't scan it the first time. And there you go. We're back in. Same files, same everything. So this is cool because sometimes if you're doing IT work, you never know if somebody's got a computer with USB-A or USB-C drives, and it's nice for this device to be available, so you can use this for whatever you need to. So anyway, it's SanDisk. Let's take a look at this again. This is this one, the 256 gigabyte one, very low price at $46.50. For that much storage is just amazing. And if you've got an Android phone, don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure, but I believe if you got an Android phone, you should be able to plug it in and see that as a drive. Also depends on the Android. I had an older Android device that started when USB-C started. If I plugged that into that device, it would have no idea how to recognize it because the Android operating system, it was an older version of the Android operating system. I think it was 5 or 6 or something like that, and we're now on 9 or 10 or something like that. So as we go, goes inside. It says it has SDDDC4 in there. I think that's the SD speed, but let's go down and take a look at the specs here. Really lightweight, small, and I don't see anything there. We got one review there. They used it for their iPad, and that's in a different language. I don't know what they're saying there. Anyway, so as you can see, you have a few different types of dual drives that you can work off of and go from there. So, but anyway, that's the 256 gigabyte Ultra Dual Drive Lux USB Type-C. Now let's move on. Let's say you need a little bit more power, and these are drives. I love these drives. These are just amazing to have. Once again, if you need to transfer files from one computer to another, this one right here not only saves the day, but look at how small it is. It won't fit in your wallet, but compared to my iPhone, look at that. That's the size right there. Let's do this. Let's set this down. Let's move this out of the way. Let's go to here, and there you go. You can see the difference in the size, minus the carabiner. Sorry, let's take the carabiner off. And that's basically the size between your phone and this device right here. So not too bad. It's pretty small. This has 1 terabyte worth of data here. 1 terabyte. It's crazy how we've gotten to that point where 1 terabyte is found on these types of drives, and how fast it works. How fast it really just cruises sometimes. Let's pull that. There we go. And then we'll over here. There we go. Let's bring that up. So that is the SanDisk 1 terabyte Extreme Portable External SSD, 550 megabytes per second, USB-C, USB 3.1, comes with the cables. The cables are a little bit small, or a little bit short, excuse me. So you might want to look at cables that are a little bit longer. These are probably, gosh, not even a foot. So if you need something a little bit longer, we've got there's lots of cables that you can get. We've got showing you one right there that you can get. But basically, depending on the computer, you can go USB-C to USB-C and USB-C to USB-A. 550 megabytes transfer. But keep in mind that's depending on the computer. You know, I know that there's some machines out there that have USB-C connectors, but they're running USB 2.0 on those USB-C connectors. So that really depends. The transfer rate really depends on what you're connecting to. You can connect it up on Mac and you can connect it up on PC. Very easy. Inside here, we'll go back to our fun little laptop here. Now we'll just plug this right into the machine. Hi. Finds it here. I hear it, and then it pulls it right up. Now you have in here. You have you can't see it, but it is two files. One's one folder and one file. The folder. Oops. This basically has the PDFs on how to use it, and then you have the software, which I double clicked on. The SanDisk Secure Access 3.1. So there it is right there. And you can install that. I'm not going to install that on these machines. You can choose to install it. You don't need to, but it's definitely going to encrypt this drive. And so if you have this encrypted, make sure you have all the passwords, because if you lose it, forget a password or whatever, then there's nothing that you might be able to do unless you're paying like top dollar to get the data off there. So if it's photos and videos and stuff like that, children growing up and things like that, and you forget the password, you want to be able to keep that stuff. So make sure that you have the password saved somewhere or whatever. I know you're not supposed to write them down, so that's do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. So, but basically that hooks up in both ways, and you can always get a longer cable if you need a longer cable. And we'll just hit cancel there and close that out and close that out. There we go. And we'll get this out of the way. Put that down. And so that's the SanDisk 1 terabyte Extreme portable external SSD up to 550 megabytes per second. So pretty nice little thing, and it's very small and very, very portable. So now, one more thing before we go, and that is the IBI. This is an interesting little cloud device, as they call it. So basically, if you don't understand how cloud works, that's okay. What this is a device that sits on your desktop and just plugs in. This is just a power plug. Plugs in. It knows how to connect up to the Wi-Fi once you set it up via the app. You do have to log in via the app. And then once you set that up and set it up to the Wi-Fi, you can put it in the corner and plug it in, and it turns on and just sits there. And all it does is when you get a new photo, when you get a new device or new video, it will show up there. Inside is an actual hard drive, just a regular hard drive, 500 gigabyte hard drive that will run and just spins constantly. So you'll always feel a vibration, hear something from here, a small vibration. But it's always spinning, so it keeps going. And then what you can do is you can call up the IBI software. So we'll go IBI and bring that up. And then I'll say hello, of course, once you log in. And then you can get to your photos. Here's all my content over there for June and May. And you don't have to really do anything. You basically can sit at home at the end of the day, and you put your phone on the cradle. It will send the photos over without a problem. So $129.99, and you might think to yourself, well, geez, I have cloud devices. I'm good with that. This is great for anybody that has a parent that says, I don't know technology. I know how to take a picture with my phone. That's pretty much it. So you can actually download the app. There's more than just connecting it to your phone. You definitely want to connect it to your phone to transfer the files over. But you can share this out, and your family can host files and videos on this device. They can then pull from this device to see folders and videos, and they can do it from anywhere, whether they're at your house or they're at their house, or you're both in Las Vegas or something like that. Now, here's another thing. Let's say you have parents that are in assisted living right now. And you can't see them right now because of COVID concerns. You put an IBI in their place, then they can access, if they're using smartphones, they can definitely access those photos and videos. However, there's also the ability to connect up and use on many different smart TVs. Roku is the one I normally use. So there's an app you download on Roku, and you're able to just pull up the files and view slideshows and view other things. I'm not sure whatever over-the-top television services that they use. Maybe they have it on this list here, but you can definitely share it to your devices. Or you can start on the phone. You can be watching from the IBI. I believe you can cast it from there, videos and photos. So basically it says iPhone and Android. Let's pull that up. iPhone and Android, Mac and PC, social and cloud, and USB. So you can back it up to your other cloud content. You can back it up to your Mac and PC. And it doesn't say what over-the-top television devices that they can do, but I know that they can do over 250,000 photos or 100 hours of video. And you can actually use it for other things, but leave it at that. And on the back here, there's also a USB drive. Now, let's say I have just backed up my iPhone stuff on this device. I can plug it in here. You plug this in, and so any files that are on this device, you should be able to go in your IBI and now see that. The whole idea is to put it in manually if you don't have any internet connection to send files. So it's basic USB 3.0 right there. That plugs right in. And so you should be able to take your iPhone file pictures and put that in there. You should be able to take anything from your desktop and put that in there. So that is the IBI. And you can use that basic cloud storage for your devices for the grandparents or the people that aren't too tech savvy. They can have photos in the cloud right then, right there. So that is some of the SanDisk line of devices, from SSDs to SD cards to portable USB drives to even cloud devices that you can get at a very relatively low price. I think the most expensive thing is this one, 1 terabyte for $169. This is $129, and then these are under $50, depending on what version you get. So not too bad for photo storage, for video storage, for memories, all across the board. And that's over at SanDisk. And of course, if you go over to their main page here on Amazon, you'll have lots of different options, including MP3 players. I did not know that they made MP3 players still. That's crazy. That's crazy. So check that all out. We have links down there, and we'll go from there. So that is pretty much it. That's all I have from our folks over at SanDisk. Thank you guys very much for helping me out for this live video on different processes and programs and stuff. If you got products that you want me to take a look at, let me know. You can always contact me over at Geekazine. Think Magazine, put in a geek, and find me on the socials over at Geekazine as well. Until next time, you guys geek out and take care on Geek Tech Talk Live with me, Jeffrey Powers.